who was to die on Mount Everest, was asked why did he want to climb it. He said because it is there.
Think about all the potential leaders of the last century. Too many, right? I found this list online. You will know some, others will surprise you. I won't get into all of them today. Let me know who your favourites were in the comments. If you enjoy this video, please head over to my channel to take a look at my many other videos. The link is in the description. Like and share, you know the drill. The greatest leaders of the 20th century. Winston Churchill, 1874 to 1965. This functioning alcoholic almost single-handedly kept Britain in the war against an utterly evil empire, the Third Reich. His speech after Dunkirk in the House of Commons on June 4, 1940, is the stuff of giants. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
Find the way under a faithful and tolerant government to those broad uplands where plenty, peace, and justice reign.
Franklin D. Roosevelt, 1882 to 1945. Roosevelt became president when the country was at its lowest point. The social fabric of society was collapsing. Unemployment stratospheric. The people were despondent. He led offering hope, being cool, rational, and measured. And he made it about us. He said these timeless words in his first inaugural address. So, first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance. He pulled the country back from the economic and social abyss.
Between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
Martin Luther King, 1929 to 1968. Racism was corrupting the fabric of American society. Then came King, from his early work as leader of the Montgomery bus boycott in 1954. Triggered by Rosa Parks' defiance, he fought for racial justice and nonviolent resistance. As a Baptist minister, King wrestled with the tension between the Christian ethic of love and his strong desire to fight for racial justice. His philosophical breakthrough occurred in the spring of 1950 when he attended a lecture on the nonviolent resistance of Mahatma Gandhi. King led the struggle against desegregation, for voting rights, and economic and social justice. He was jailed time and again. He received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, and civil rights acts were passed in 1964 and 1965. Mahatma Gandhi, 1869 to 1948. Gandhi undertook a task that was seen as impossible, taking on the most powerful empire on earth. Gandhi understood that Britain was too strong to be challenged in an armed struggle. Gandhi advocated non-violent resistance in the form of strikes, boycotts, and protest marches, all predicated on love for the oppressor, and provided a viable alternative to armed struggle to set India free. Gandhi's goal was not to defeat the British in India, but to redeem them through love, so as to avoid a legacy of bitterness.
Loincloth, spinning wheel and goat's milk, feeling sure that he cannot complain of his reception or the publicity he has received, from which, by the way, we always understood that he shrank.
Albert Einstein, 1879 to 1955. The ultimate thought leader of all time. His work on relativity laid the foundation for modern physics and astronomy, nuclear energy and nuclear weapons. The theory of relativity is so unique, innovative and complex that it begs the question how a young scientist could develop it. Einstein was key to convincing FDR to launch the Manhattan Project, creating an atomic bomb because of the danger Germany would be first. Einstein is the most famous scientist that has ever lived, often evoked in conversations like, "He is no Einstein."
Expressing to you here my deep sense of gratitude as a man, as a good European, and as a Jew. It cannot be my task today to act as judge of the conduct of a nation which for many years has considered me as her own.
Margaret Thatcher, 1925 to 2013, the first ever elected female leader of a major Western power. Thatcher won 3 elections, fought a war, defeated the unions, and turned around Britain's economic and political decline that started after World War II. Her leadership was crucial in ending what has been called the post-war consensus, consisting of heavy regulation, interventionist policies, nationalisation of key industries, strong trade unions, high taxes, and a generous welfare state. Her successes gave credibility to an alternative point of view: privatisation, lower taxes, and reduction of absurdly generous social benefits.
We're leaving Downing Street for the last time after 11.5 wonderful years, and we're very happy that we leave the United Kingdom in a very, very much better state than when we came here 11.5 years ago.
Nelson Mandela, 1918 to 2013. Mandela grew up under the apartheid regime in South Africa. He led the ANC's armed struggle against the regime until he was imprisoned for life. In prison, he was humiliated. Conditions were very harsh. He overcame his bitterness once he realised bitterness and hatred would imprison him, even if he would no longer be in prison. In his own words, "As I walked out the door towards the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison." Easier said than done, but he did it. When the apartheid regime started to totter, he negotiated with the white minority government, led by tough Afrikaners, a peaceful transition towards a democratic South Africa. Due to his decisive leadership, the endless rivers of blood that would accompany any fight over the country didn't happen. As the first president of a democratic South Africa, he toiled to bring blacks and whites together. Mother Teresa, 1910 to 1997. Born in what is now North Macedonia. Mother Teresa moved to India, working for almost 50 years with the poor in Calcutta, those who were forgotten and neglected, providing medical care, shelter, and food to the poor, creating the Missionaries of Charity, a Roman Catholic religious congregation that now has over 5,000 nuns, easily recognisable by their attire of traditional white sari with blue border. The organisation is active in more than 130 countries, receiving the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979 for her work for bringing help to suffering humanity. Mother Teresa became Saint Teresa of Calcutta in 2016.
After 3 days, they brought him to our house. And there was this little one who could scarcely pronounce my name. He loved with great love. He loved until it hurt. And this is what I bring before you.
Wangari Maathai, 1940 to 2011. You might be thinking, Wangari who? One of the most important developments in the 20th century is that we finally have come to acknowledge the effects of humans on environmental and climate change. Professor Maathai was at the forefront of this. Born in a mud hut, Maathai founded the Green Belt movement in post-colonial Kenya. Maathai concluded that environmental degradation could not be addressed in isolation. Rather, it was a consequence of disempowerment of the Kenyan people, of government corruption and cronyism. This insight led her to expand local community activities beyond tree planting, which remained a core activity, to education seminars in which issues of democracy, human rights, gender and power were discussed. Her legacy will stand as an example to all of us to persist in our pursuit of progress.
Thank you very much.
Ronald Reagan, 1911 to 2004. When Reagan was elected president, the US had lost its bearings. The country had serious problems. With Reagan, it became morning again in America. The Gipper cut taxes, unleashed the animal spirits, and rebuilt the armed forces. His ridiculed Strategic Defense Initiative, Star Wars, forced the Soviet Union to face reality. They neither had the money or knowledge to compete with America anymore. Gorbachev saw the writing on the wall and embarked on a new approach of openness and constructive engagement, which was reciprocated by Reagan. The wall fell in the year Reagan left office.
In good hands. All in all, not bad. Not bad at all. And so, goodbye, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
John F. Kennedy, 1917 to 1963, often referred to as JFK, was an American politician who served as the 35th President of the United States from 1961 until his assassination in 1963, the youngest person elected president. Kennedy served at the height of the Cold War, and the majority of his foreign policy concerned relations with the Soviet Union and Cuba. A Democrat, Kennedy represented Massachusetts in both houses of the United States Congress prior to his presidency, arguably the most provocative and inspirational president America had in the 20th century. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me your comments. I really appreciate your likes, shares and subscribers. As always, please hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take it easy. Bye for now.
Interesting facts about famous people.